Okay, just a second. Okay, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 447th meeting of Central Delhi Toastmasters Club. So, 2 days back, I saw this message in one of the district officers group where one of the members had shared a feedback from a guest. The guest was talking about her sister who attended a club's meeting for the very first time. Quoting the message directly here, she has been struggling to form words and speak ever since she is out of depression. She was not even able to talk to anyone. Attending the Toastmaster session was a refreshing change for her, and when she won the table topics today, she has been smiling the whole day. Haven't seen her happy since long. Thank you to all of you. Well, after reading this message, I felt extremely happy and proud to be part of this organization where we actually help people to overcome their fear and become more and more confident. Together, the mission of our club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. On that note, let me call the most helpful and extremely hardworking Toastmaster, none other than the president of our club, Toastmaster Karanveer.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Navya. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and all the guests present today. I hope I am clearly audible. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yes, you are.
Great, thank you so much. So how many of you would agree with me when I say that whatever we say can have a lot of impact on the other person, especially when the situations are heated and we are talking to the other person? How many of you think our words can have a lot of impact? Give me a raise of hand. Well, I think we all are right. In 1990s, there was a Japanese scientist named Masaru Emoto. He performed a very unique experiment on water. There's a book by him called The Hidden Messages in Water, and it's all about this experiment. In science, it has been noticed that when we take a glass of water and we freeze it, if the water is pure, and after freezing, you can see small crystals in it when you see it under microscope. But if the water is impure, those crystals do not form. Okay. So taking the scientific fact forward, what they did was, so the scientist took two glasses of water, and on one glass he wrote, "I hate you," fear, all the negative words. And on the another glass, he wrote, "I love you," world peace, and things like these. What do you think was the impact? The effect of this experiment came out that on the glass with the negative words, there were no crystals formed. And on the glass with the positive ones, the crystals were formed. All this has been noted and scientifically proven in his book called The Hidden Messages in Water. Now, when I listened to this story, I was taken back for a moment and I really wanted to confirm if this was the case. But yes, definitely it is the case. Now, if we can have such an impact on water, imagine the amount of impact we all can have on another human being altogether. I really feel that whenever we give any sort of feedback to the other person, whether it's uh, commending him, whether we want something, or whether we have something to suggest him, we really should choose our words carefully so that it gives the intended impact and not otherwise. Using all these feedbacks, a person either builds up or either he or she tears down. But today, I would also like to take a moment to congratulate Toastmaster Ritvik for being a winner, a first runner up at Division E evaluation contest using all these feedbacks. Toastmaster Ritvik is one who has been constantly getting feedback from everywhere he can, and using those feedbacks, he believes that he was able to reach that level of evaluation contest. On the same note, I have something for all of you today. I would like to urge all of you that today we are going to write down feedback for each one of us. Anyone who comes up on stage, I really want all of you to write one word or one sentence about them. That's it. Don't write a huge paragraph, one word or one sentence, that's it. And after the meeting ends, we all will share our one word or one sentence with the other person. And let's see how many words or sentences do we get. And we will see each one of us. You all are with me there? Yes? Great, lovely. Now it's time to introduce those people who are here for the first time, who have taken their first step as leaders or as communicators and who want to improve themselves, and they are here to do so. I would request all the guests to please introduce themselves one by one, telling us their name, how did they come to know about Toastmasters, and what do they do in their professional lives. Uh, may I request guest Bipin to start first?
Yeah, yeah. You can hear me, right?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So I am Bipin Kumar. I am working in oil and gas sector from last 7-8 years. And how do I come to know about the Toastmaster? So one of my senior colleague, it's in fact my boss. So he was a county president for the Toastmaster in Netherlands, and he was also editor of the Toastmaster magazine. And he's kind of pushing me from last 1 year. Why don't you join the Toastmaster? So after doing a lot of due diligence, finding which one is closer to my house or my office, I think this Central Delhi and the South Delhi, both are closer to me. So I'm deciding which one to join. And definitely this is my first meeting. I hope I will get a lot of information which I'm looking for. And that's it from my side.
Thank you so much, Pipin. We hope you have a great time today here at Central Delhi Toastmasters. May I request guest Ankita to please introduce herself?
Hello, everyone. I'm Ankita and I'm a development professional. So the last time I heard about Toastmasters was in the year 2011. And I was quite younger than what I am now. And I wanted to join it back then, but I didn't have a chance because I was living in a small town. And the Toastmasters Club was in Ludhiana, like still a bigger city in Punjab. And few months back, like almost a month back, Karthik, a colleague to me, who is also a Toastmaster, had just updated his WhatsApp status, to which I just felt very rejoiced that, I still have a chance. And I also recently moved to Delhi. So I just thought of getting in touch and, understand how this works so that I can also probably fulfill my dream come wish that I had 10 years back to join Toastmasters. Thanks.
Very well, Ankita, you are at the right place, and I'm glad you saw Toastmaster Karthik's status. Toastmaster Karthik is very talented, and he has also served as the past president of Central Delhi Toastmasters. Thank you so much. May I request guest Himanish to please go next and introduce himself? If Himanish is not here, may I request guest Avinash to please introduce himself?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So my name is Avinash Kumar, and I got to know about Toastmaster from web, actually, the Central Delhi section of Toastmaster. But actually, the first time I got to know about Toastmaster is in my college. There was a division of Toastmaster. I am from IIT Dhanbad, and there was a division, and people were quite active there. But I was not that fortunate to join at that time. I did not realize the importance. But right now I am an IAS aspirant, and I have given mains this year, and I'm hopeful that I will get an interview call. So that's why I thought, what better than joining Toastmaster to have a good confidence. So this way I came here, and I hope everything will go good from now on. Thank you.
Yes, Avinash, you are right, and we wish you all the very best for your mains. May I request guest Kanav to please go ahead and introduce himself. Guest Kanav.
Hi. So I attended the meeting last week. So I'm not visible. Hello.
Yes, you
I'm
are
audible.
audible. Yes, you are.
So I attended the meeting last week, and I think there was some glitch from my side, so not that audible that time. I came to know from Instagram the club, and that's it.
Thank you so much, Kanav. We hope your technical glitches don't interrupt your experience today, and we hope you have a great time. May I request guest Kundan to please go ahead and introduce himself in a quick way. Guest Kundan.
Hi everyone, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So my name is Kundan Kumar Singh. I'm a software developer, and right now I work at CSG International. And if you're speaking about how I got to know about Toastmaster, then I would like to say that I got to know about it from a common friend. Even he does not attend these sessions, but he knows a lot about it. So he informed me about the Toastmaster clubs. So I thought, what better way to join Toastmaster and improve my communication as well as leadership skills? Because in the near present future, I aim to pursue MBA. So I thought oral skills are the most valuable thing that we can have, like in the market field or the sales field. So this is my first session at the Toastmaster online club, Delhi Central Delhi Toastmaster. So I look forward to communicating with you people, learning new things, and enhancing my skills so that I can be better at whatever I do. And I think the Toastmaster has got various aspects in it. Like it, I've heard like it really improves the personality that one person has. It changes the aura. So I thought, what better to join this Toastmaster club? That's why I'm here. Cheers to you guys for organizing such a great event in clubs.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kundan. Yes, you are right about Toastmasters. People come here and they are known for being once a Toastmasters, always a Toastmaster. We hope you have a great time. May I request guest Rishabh to please introduce himself.
Good evening, Toastmaster. My name is Rishabh Sharma. I belongs from New Delhi. And how do I get to know about this Toastmaster club? One of my mentors, Shiva Mahuja and Saurav Bhatnagar, they both joined this club in 2016 and 15. So I want to improve my communication skills for my business, and I want to improve my this skill. So they suggested me to join this Toastmaster club, and that's why I'm here. And now Sanchit Bhushan sir helped me to uh, get into this, to be a part of this meeting, and that's the reason I'm here. That's all about me. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Rishabh. And thank you so much all the guests for joining us today. Due to paucity of time, I would request all the guests to please leave their introduction in the chat box, and we will continue with the guest introduction in the at the end of the meeting. For all the guests, I would request all of you to look out for a special segment called as table topic segment, in which all of you can also participate. So now we are going to start with the formal proceedings of the meeting. For that, I would like to call someone who is known as the Toastmaster of the day, the host of the meeting. Our Toastmaster of the day today is Toastmaster Sparshita Verma. She is an economics honor graduate from LSR and is all set to get into a good B school in the coming future. May welcome Toastmaster Sparshita Verma with her theme, To the Ones Who Influenced Millions. To the Ones Who Influenced Millions, Toastmaster Sparshita Verma, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. A very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, we are celebrating India's 73rd Republic Day. And like any Republic Day celebration, today's celebration is incomplete without recalling the contribution of our freedom fighters. But there is a slight change today. We'll not talk about the personality and actions taken by them during their struggle for freedom, but the influential, inspiring speeches delivered by them to have an impact on the people. And for that, I would like to share my screen now. Our first speech is Crisis of Civilization by Rabindranath Tagore. This speech by Tagore at Shanti Niketan in April 1941 was his last speech. In this speech, the poet unhesitatingly points to the flawed civilizational model that the dominant discourse in India had come to repose its trust in by the 19th century. Our second speech is Address of the World Parliament of Religions, Swami Vivekananda. This speech at the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago, in which he introduced Hinduism to North America, became historical. In this speech, Vivekananda talked on Buddhism. He talked about the origin of Buddhism, relation between Buddhism and Brahmanism, and Buddhism and Vedas. He concluded, Hinduism cannot live without Buddhism, nor Buddhism without Hinduism, and showed how Buddhism is the fulfillment to Hinduism. The third one is Tryst with Destiny by Jawaharlal Nehru. So Nehru had always been one of those leaders who influenced masses with his speeches. The Tryst with Destiny speech was delivered by him on the eve of India's independence towards midnight on 14th August 1947. And it spoke about the 100-year struggle against the British Empire in India. The fourth one is Freedom is My Birthright by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. When he came out of prison after serving a sentence of 6 years, he gave this speech to revive the spirit of nationalism, and his powerful words became very important in the national movement. The last one is Quit India speech by Mahatma Gandhi. The Quit India speech is a speech made by Mahatma Gandhi on 8 August 1942 on the eve of the Quit India movement. He called for determined but passive resistance that signified the certitude that Gandhi foresaw for the movement, best described by his call to do or die. With this, we end here. I hope I managed to give you a sense of the power a speech has. It can transform a society into a civilization and a civilization into a globalized one. With this inspiring note, let us understand the structure of today's meeting. So today's meeting comprises of 3 segments. Number 1 is prepared speeches, where members will deliver the speeches based on their chosen pathways and the project. Number 2 is table topic segment. In this segment, members, particularly the guests, can participate and deliver impromptu speech on the topics given by our table topic master today. And the last segment is evaluation segment, where the prepared speeches and all the other aspects of the meeting will be evaluated by a general evaluator and his team. So now it's the time to invite a team of auxiliary role players who will be evaluating different aspects of the meeting. Let's start with the timer today. So our timer today is TM Samkit Jain. He is pursuing post-graduation in digital marketing. And Bhagat Singh has always been an inspiration to him. He says that the young hot blood he had, the way no one could stop him from doing what he thought, and the way he motivated many Indians has always been inspiration for him. With this, TM Sanket, the stage is yours.
Thank you, TM Modi. Have you ever thought what would have happened if our great leaders would have not delivered the right speech at right time? Or if our constitution was formed after some years? All of that would have created a lot of problem for our country. That is why completing every task on time is very important. Similarly, in every Toastmasters meeting, time is very precious and important. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am Sanket Jain, and I am going to play the role of timer today. As a timer, my role is to keep a track of time taken by all the speakers and indicate the respected time by showing the color cards. I will be sharing my screen for showing the color cards. Time allotted for the speakers and evaluators is as follows. For prepared speakers, 5 to 7 minutes. Green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. For table topic speakers, 1 to 2 minutes. Green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1.5, and red card at 2 minutes. For speech evaluators, 2 to 3 minutes. Green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2.5, and red card at 3 minutes. Buffer time of 30 seconds is available on the upper and lower side for all the speakers except the table topic speakers, where buffer time of 30 seconds is available only on the upper side. Without wasting the time, as time and tide waits for none, I will conclude by saying, take care of minutes and hours will take care of themselves. I will present my report in the evaluation round only. Thank you. Back to TMOD.
Thank you, TM Sanket. So let's invite our language evaluator for today.
It seems our TMOD has some network issue. May I request our language evaluator, Toastmaster Darshan Singh, to please introduce himself and tell us about his role. Toastmaster Darshan.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. So I'll be playing the role of language evaluator today. Well, many of us believe that language did not had any part in the freedom struggle. Well, I have some different opinions. Language did play a very important part in the freedom struggle. What's that? If you know, hit that in the chat box. Well, many of the freedom fighters at that time during 90s, 1930s, 40s, and at the time of the freedom, they got to know about some things that were not in their part. What was that? That was the use of liberty. They gained the ideas of how to use a liberty, freedom, equality, and under law or democracy, which are some familiarities with the English literature. And over the time, they gained expertise in these parts of the English, and they have a very good hand on that. But now we are here in the Toastmasters, and to improve ourselves. Well, many of us in India have got more hold on the English than most of the Englishmen. And in the past also, many of our freedom fighters know English better than all the Englishmen that were those were at the time the officers and all those people are in the country. So what is the further thing? Well, in the Toastmasters here, my role is to take care of the notes, note down the things, or the words, or the idioms, or the phrases that you use in all of the meeting, right from the start till the end. But today I have given you something. What is that? That is a word of the day. The word of the day is, it is adroit, ADROIT. It is pronounced as adroit. The meaning is skillful and clever. But how can you use this word in the daily language? Well, examples are here. One can be too adroit once too often. Yes, you have to be skillful sometimes. He became adroit at dealing with difficult questions. Suppose you are giving an MBA interview. How you deal with it? It's adroit. A speaker has to be adroit in their speech presentation. All the speakers today take this word seriously. Well, I urge you to use this word in this meeting also, but not in this meeting, but in your daily life also. And the language of this meeting, the medium of this meeting is to use the English language. And if any one of you has used any other language, no, I'm not going to scold you. You have to translate that and say that particular line or that word in the English. And I will be giving my report in the evaluation segment. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster, if your network is working, or to Mr. President.
Thank you so much. Yes, there was a network issue. I'm sorry for that. So we have our counter now, TM Rashmi Sikri. She is a teacher by profession, and the stories of Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, and Subhash Chandra Bose' bravery and their steely resolve to attain freedom have always mesmerized her. With this, let's invite TM Rashmi. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, T-Mod Sporshita. Independence Day and the Republic Day, they always remind us of the brave, the brave and the selfless freedom fighters whose bravery and the sacrifices have helped us to attain freedom. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and youths. Did you feel interested in listening to my piece of speech? Perhaps not. Because you might be feeling either I am feeling nervous or I am unprepared. Yes, these ahs, ers, and filler words, likes, etc. They really mar the spirit of the speech and make the speech uninteresting. But if you want to be an adroit speaker, you have to control the use of these ahs, ers, or the filler words and speak flawlessly. So for today, I'm going to play the role of our counter in this meeting, and I'm going to keep the track of the filler words if used by any one of you. And I'm going to present the report at the end of the session whenever called by the general evaluator. Till then, hoping to listen flawless and hourless speeches from all of you. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, TM Rashmi. So we have our parliamentarian now, TM Shashank. He comes from the family of defense personnel who have served the nation. His father has served for 20 years in Indian Air Force, and now he's retired, working for private firm. And his uncle is a lieutenant colonel in Indian Army and still serving. In his childhood, he desired to be an Indian Army officer, but he couldn't convert the SSB, unfortunately, and now he is an MBA final year student. He will be joining Deloitte as a consultant in few months soon. Kudos to you. His hero has always been Shaheed Bhagat Singh, and his quote, "They may kill me, but they cannot kill my ideas. They can crush my body, but they will not be able to crush my spirit," has always motivated him throughout his journey till now. With this, let's invite TM Shashank. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. I am proud to be part of the largest democratic country of the world, and I take immense pleasure to say that Indian Constitution is one of the strongest and robust all over the world. It was 73 years ago, on 26th of January, through the members of Constituent Assembly, the people of India adopted this constitution. It was their patriotic nature, professionalism, and discipline of the members of the Constituent Assembly that helped us to draft the constitution. And it is a duty of every citizen to abide by the constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, to cherish and follow the noble ideals and of the freedom struggle. With that being said, today I'll be looking into the meeting for the same professionalism and discipline. Before we go ahead with the meeting, I would like to remind everyone about the rules of the meeting. Everyone should keep their audio muted at all times during the meeting. The phone should be kept at silent throughout the meeting. The video should be turned on to motivate the speakers. The members should not indulge in any form of eating while they're on screen. No negative references should be made to caste, race, or class of the people. Sex, politics, and religions, these topics are not taboo. Speakers need to be sensitive if they choose to speak about them. I would encourage all the participants of this meeting to abide by the rules. I will present my final report in the evaluation segment. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, TM Shashank. So we have a listener today, TM Bhavanan. He is an electronics engineer pursuing PhD from DTU. Chandrasekhar Azad is the freedom fighter he admires the most because he was a revolutionary leader. He took oath that no Britishers can kill him, and it became true. With this, TM Bhavanan, the stage is yours.
Thank you, TM Asparsita. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. There were, there are, and there will many great personalities who influenced not only India but whole universe. Okay, so it couldn't be possible without ownership of our mind, good concentration, and good listening capability. For example, Swami Vivekananda, Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh, all these great personality who were having these characters. My teacher also used to communicator, you should be from this session because I am listener of today's session. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much.
I believe we have a good number of network interrupts today. Just to reinforce, our listener will be noting down questions from throughout all the speeches and from everyone who is going to come up on stage. And during the evaluation segment, we are going to have a question and answer round, just like a rapid fire one. It's going to be very interesting. And we hope Toastmaster Bhavanan is able to get back to us by that time. And moving forward, it's time to call someone on stage who is known as the joke master of the evening, someone who is going to present a few jokes and ensure that we all laugh before the start of the meeting. May I request Toastmaster Vedant to please come up on stage. Toastmaster Vedant.
Thank you, Timod. The story goes like this. Me and my friends were going on a trip by car, and we had to pass through a forest area in between our journey. But after a few kilometers only, we got lost, and it was already getting dark. The sun was about to set, and on top of that, we didn't had any internet connectivity also. Otherwise, we could have used Google Maps. Luckily, we saw a young boy coming through the opposite direction on a bike, and we gestured him to stop. But by the time he had already crossed us, and he stopped just behind the back of our car. My friend who was driving the vehicle wanted me to open the window and ask him for directions. But instead of saying khidki khol, open the window, he mistakenly said dicky khol, which means open the boot. And he said this 2 to 3 times. So it went like this. Abbe dicky khol, dicky khol. The boy somehow heard this. And now imagine the situation where 5 boys are sitting in a black car. There's no one around. It's getting dark. And you see a person who, after looking towards you, tells his partner, Abbe dicky khol. Obviously, he got scared and tried to run away. And when we went towards him, he started saying things like, who are you? I haven't done anything. Don't you dare come towards me. And all, and something like that. So we calmed him down and explained him everything that that we just wanted to get the directions and all. And yes, in the end, we did get the right direction also. So that's all from my side today. Thank you. Back to T-Mod.
Thank you so much, TM Vedant. So let's move to our first segment of the meeting, the prepared speeches. And our first speaker we have is TM Sadaf. But before hearing her, let's invite our evaluator, TM Akshat, to hear speech objectives. TM Akshat, this stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmasters Prashita. Good evening, everyone. My name is Akshat, and today I'm going to be evaluating Toastmaster Sadaf's speech. Toastmaster Sadaf is delivering her second speech from Project 2 of Level 1. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that she has applied the feedback received from her previous speech. Timer, please note that the time allotted for the speaker is 5 to 7 minutes. I will be presenting my evaluation in the evaluation segment. I wish the speaker all the very best. Over to you, Toastmasters Prashita.
Thank you so much, TM Akshat. So our first speaker, TM Sadaf, is pursuing her graduation in chemical engineering. And the freedom fighter she admires the most is Subhash Chandra Bose because of his unparalleled struggle for his motherland. So TM Sadaf calling her with a speech titled Chair Work. Chair Work, TM Sadaf.
Thank you so much, TM Modi. So being able to feel safe with other people is probably the most important aspect of mental health. Safe connections are the fundamental to meaningful and satisfying life. As Basil Vanderkool quoted in his book called The Body Keeps the Score. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and esteemed guest. I, Sadaf Ashraf, presenting in front of you my speech called Chair Work. The author emphasizes that people who are suffering emotionally are unlikely to do just in their minds. Their symptoms always shown up in their bodies in the way they sit, or the way they breathe, or the way they hold their shoulder, their sleeping patterns, their digestion process, or the attitude towards the exercise. In a nutshell, a person who is going through emotional misery, it shows almost everything they do. And when we take our body more seriously, open up new avenues for both the diagnosis and the treatment of emotional unwellness. The most important aspect to help the person in this situation is by talk therapy. Yes, you heard it right. So, and the chair work is the one kind of talk therapy which include the 4 principles. The first of 4 principles is multiplicity of self, or the idea in which we each can be seen as containing different parts, modes, voices, or self. For example, the way we behave at work can be different from the way we behave at home or at a summer party with our friends. And sometimes during periods of stress, parts can emerge that are either unfamiliar or undesirable, the kind of situation that prompt you to say the things like, I don't know what came over me. So the second principle is that for the people to give voices into these different parts. In practice, this might involve asking a patient to move another chair and give voices to their suffering, their fear, their inner critic, or their heroic self, the part of themselves that takes meaningful action in the world. And you believe it or not, this alone can be surprisingly powerful experience. The third principle is move from internal to the external world. It involves person revisiting or re-expressing a loss or trauma as a way of working through experience. So in this situation, a therapist might invite a person to imagine placing the different people involved in various chairs and talking to them. Perhaps saying the things that they didn't say or couldn't say at that time. Or I'm damn sure that you can relate this situation that in many situations you want to say something in an argument or fight, but that times that punchline it couldn't strike in your mind, but after that you come to know, okay, I should say that time, right? So, and the last principle is the ultimate goal of chair work is the strengthening of what has been variously called the ego or the inner leader. So as this part of personality becomes stronger, individuals are able to experience greater internal regulation. So in the end, you must be wondering, how does chair work help people and first is that it serves to bring greater clarity and gain greater controls over them. Second is that it facilitates encounters and dialogues among the parts that might not occur naturally. Third is that it promotes intense of feeling emotional expressions, which can transform it, imagine dialogues process within the individual that can lead to new ways of being in the world. So that's how chair work works. And through this chair work, we can understand ourselves more clearly. So as long as you keep secrets and suppress emotions, suppress information, you are fundamentally at war with yourself. And the critical issue is allowing yourself to know what you know, and this takes an enormous amount of courage. So at the last, I want to end my speech with a quote that the most beautiful people are those who have known defeat, who have known suffering, who have known struggle, who have known loss, and have found their way out of their depths. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much, Modi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sadaf. I request everyone to share their feedback in the chat box. So with this, we have our second speaker, TM Abhishek, but let's call his evaluator, TM Navya, first to hear his speech objectives. TM Navya, the stage is yours.
Thank you, TM Modi. So, hi everyone, I am Navya and I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Abhishek's speech today. He'll be giving his first speech, Level 1 Project 1 Icebreaker speech under the pathway Persuasive Influence. The purpose of his speech is to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structures of public speaking. And I wish all the very best to Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you so much, TM Navya. TM Abhishek is a computer engineer and is currently working towards his goal of becoming an IAS officer. He admires Subhash Chandra Bose for his brave work in the Indian National Army and also for his political contribution in the Indian National Congress. With this, calling TM Abhishek with this speech title, Becoming Better at Every Step. Becoming Better at Every Step, TM Abhishek.
The only difference between a winner and a loser is that losers lose hope just after their fourth failure, and winners are the ones who fail for 10 times and fight back again for the 11th attempt. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abhishek Singh, and today I will walk you all to the phases of my life. I was born on 21st May 1998 in Pune, Maharashtra. Since I was able to learn a lot of things at an early age, I was enrolled into school at just an age of 2 years. Later on, I started learning karate, and I remember I got so involved into it that I had abs back then when I was just 10 years old. Now, how many of you are working in a career or pursuing a career that you had thought in your childhood? I'm sure there are people here who wanted to become astronauts and pilots in their childhood. Well, it would definitely include me. I am the one who wants to become an IS officer since my childhood. Since I was a kid, I was highly fascinated by the lifestyles of few of my relatives who are currently civil servants. They all support and believe in me, and I am very much inspired by them. Back in my class 8, I was put into a boarding school, and it was a very great learning experience. I learned to live a disciplined life. We used to wake up at 5:30 every single day and do yoga or jogging. I also learned about music and singing as I was in the choir group. I became very good at academics there, and I used to be the favorite student of all my teachers. I also learned a lot about sports. I played national level in inline skating. I'm state level in chess and district level in football. In class 11th, I was introduced to coding and I simply fell in love with it. And that's when I decided to pursue a graduation in this field. In my class 12th, I was made the house prefect, and that was the first experience for leadership. I was in the boarding till class 12th, and overall, it was a very adroit experience. After 12th, I after 12th, I decided to take a year drop to go to Kota for IIT coaching, as I always wanted to get into IITs. But little did I know about my fate, and I got into a relationship. She was the class topper, and I used to clear all my doubts from her. But as evident from her behaviors, both of us weren't able to enter into any IITs. Finally, I got a college in Pune through MHCT in computer science. And boy, oh boy, those 4 years were the best years of my life. I had never enjoyed that much ever. It was a very fun and a learning experience. Learning not in terms of academics, but in terms of life in general. I realized the importance of friends, the joy of living a carefree life, and enjoying every moment with them. That showed me how much friends are necessary to add value to your life. After all, human is a social animal. It was my third year that I was slightly confused about my future and my career. No doubt I had a childhood dream, but I wanted to be convinced that it is the right path for me. I was enrolled into a club called National Service Scheme, NSS, in my college. They had a 7 days social service camp. I decided to give it a try. It was a tough job and we had to plant saplings every day and clear dead grasses to avoid them from catching fire. Teach the children of the village. We had to teach the children of the village we lived in every single day. But at the end, it was all worth it seeing myself being useful for the environment and for the society. And that gave me a sense of satisfaction. And I was pretty convinced by the career path I had chosen. Since my graduation in 2020, I came to Delhi and I've been working for this exam with all my dedication and willpower. No doubt, this exam is a lonely and time taking process. It requires a lot of patience and hard work, but I'm hopeful that I'll be able to cross the hurdles and fulfill my dream life. And this is one of the reasons why I joined Toastmasters, just to enhance my skills of leadership and public speaking that will help me become a worthy civil servant one day. Thank you, everyone. Back to Team Modi.
Thank you so much, TM Abhishek. So we have our speaker 3 now, TM Shanti. But let's welcome our evaluator first, TM Pooja, to hear her speech objectives. TM Pooja, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Sparshada. So today I will be evaluating the speech of TM Shanti. The purpose of this project is for the speaker to learn and be able to do a basic research and prepare a well-organized speech. Today, the speaker will be presenting a speech on the spirits of Toastmasters. Thank you. Over to you, Sparshita.
Thank you so much, TM Pooja. So our third speaker, TM Shanti, is an electrical engineer who is currently working on her online education platform. She loves to read books and to teach. Her favorite freedom fighter is Bhagat Singh for his undying spirit to stick to his ideals even in the face of death. With this, calling TM Shanti with her speech title, The Spirit of Toastmasters. The Spirit of Toastmasters, TM Shanti.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Spirit. What is spirit? According to Google, it is the prevailing or typical quality, mood, or attitude of a person, group, or a period of time. Three Idiots style, you may ask me, कहना क्या चाहते हो? What is it that you want to convey? Well, personally, I believe that spirit is nothing but energy. We're all gathered here today to share our ideas, to share our little inspiring stories, our evaluations, and various other inputs. The guests are here today with their energy of curiosity. Where do we get all this energy from? Because we all know that energy can neither be created nor can it be destroyed. So, where is all this energy coming from? It should come from somewhere. Well, I, for one, like to think about the starting points or the origins of anything that I like. So today in my speech, I thought that I will speak about the origin of the spirit of Toastmasters, where all this energy comes from. So when I dug into the history of Toastmasters, I found out that the first unofficial meeting was held in the year 1905, more than 100 years ago. And the person who established that meeting, who set up that meeting, was Ralph C. Smedley. He is considered to be the father of Toastmasters. Now, at that time, he was working in YMCA, Young Men's Christian Association. And at the time, he felt that the men who were part of that community would benefit largely if they would improve their interpersonal skills, which is why he established that club. But a few years after the club, after the first unofficial meeting, he moved to another place and the club did not flourish without him. Two more decades later, he finally established his first official meeting. It was, by the time, a well-organized club. And the first official meeting was held in the year 1924, which is 19 years after the first unofficial meeting. And from there was no hurdles for the Toastmaster clubs. It kept just growing and growing. The thing that really clicked with me is the amount of time, the sheer amount of time. Truly, patience and passion can do anything and everything. This is where I believe the spirit of Toastmasters started. But how did that spirit endure for all these years? How did it stay relevant after all these years? Did you know that initially Toastmasters only catered to men? It was in the year 1970, which was 5 years after Smedley died, that the first female member was admitted into the club. But wait for it. She was admitted under a fake name, under a male name. It was Helen Blanchard, and she was admitted under the name Homer Blanchard. Eventually, the club gave way, and 3 years after she joined, it started accepting women officially, and she could go back to her original name, Helen Blanchard. This Helen Blanchard went on to become the first female international president. So from here, we see that Toastmaster was adaptable. It chose to change with the changing times. It chose to stay relevant rather than just die out by choosing to be rigid. Now, the spirit of Toastmasters cannot be complete. This topic cannot be complete if we don't talk about our very own most noted leader and our very own club member, distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon. For those of you who are not aware of him, for the guests especially, he served as the international president in the year 2019 to 20. When I was researching for this speech, I literally binge watched all of his videos and interviews on YouTube. You can even find an article on him in the Toastmasters official website. A fellow Toastmaster tells me that even when he was serving as the international president living in the United States at the time, he would still find time to help his home club, CDTM. And it is always humbling to see him, even now, attend the meetings and give his valuable feedback to all of us. He comes with a lot of energy. At the time that he joined in 2002. And at the time he joined, the Toastmasters Club of New Delhi. It was the only club in Delhi and one of the 6 clubs in entire India. And it was under his leadership that the number of clubs has thrived in the entire India, and not just in India, in the neighboring countries as well, in Sri Lanka, in Nepal. It is really honorable to be in the presence of such a great leader, such an adroit leader. Even now, this spirit is continued by a lot of our foreign club members, seniors, as well as people who have joined in the recent years and the recent months. I believe that the spirit of Toastmasters is going to continue like this, because once a Toastmaster, always a Toastmaster. That is the spirit of Toastmasters. Thank you. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, TM Shanti. I'll request everyone to share their feedback in the chat box. Meanwhile, I'll request the tech master to please raise the ballots for the best speaker.
And the ballots are on the screen. Everyone will be given 20 seconds to vote as who was the best speaker according to them. Please take part in this democratic process of voting. Okay, only 5 more seconds will be given. Do vote quickly. 5 members are still remaining. I will start my countdown now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and closing the polls now.
Thank you so much, tech master. So moving on to our next segment of the meeting, the table topic segment. Here, members can learn the art of impromptu speaking, and particularly guests are encouraged to participate in this segment. To conduct this segment, we have a table topic master, TM Ankit. He is a corporate consultant having his own firm. He admires Maharana Pratap because of his extraordinary courage and never give up attitude. With this, let's welcome TTM of the day, TM Ankit. TM Ankit, the stage is yours.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Friends, suppose you are having a coffee in a cafe house with your 2B, and suddenly your ex or your dad walks in. So are you ready for this kind of situation? What will be your response? This situation is an impromptu. Likewise, we have so many impromptu situations where we cannot predict how situation is going to emerge. In order to make yourself ready, we have designed this segment in which topic will be provided upfront. Just 1 to 2 minutes you need to speak to save yourself. In order to be eligible for the rewards, at least 1 minute be on stage. If you find it hard, the moment I give you topic, just repeat the topic. Thoughts will come. Even if thoughts are not coming, then try to break the topic. Thoughts will come. Even then thoughts are not coming, just ask some of the person in the audience, what is your view on say? At least 1 minute will pass by then. In this way, you will be eligible for the rewards. So friends, should we begin the show? Because if I take more time, we will have to skip one speaker. So timing is just 1 to 2 minutes. You can go up to 2 minutes 30 seconds. Should not be less than the 1 minute. And I would prefer Toastmaster first, so at least guests can understand how the segment will go, and guests can also participate because guests are waiting for the last 1 hour whether we will get chance to speak or not. Yes, you will get chance to speak. Here is a segment. So who wants to come? Please raise your hand. Yes, Kanav, and who else? Anyone from the Toastmaster side? Guest Avinash is saying. I would like to call Toastmaster Deepak Menon, sir, on stage. Sir, would you like to come?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you so much. So Toastmaster Deepak Menon, never regret something that once made you happy. Never regret something that once made you happy. Toastmaster Deepak Menon, stage is all yours.
What is regret if something has made you happy? There is no need for regrets. Mr. Topics Master, fellow Toastmaster, dear guests, when something makes you happy, would you regret it? Absolutely not. A little while ago, Toastmaster Shanti was speaking about when I joined Toastmasters way back in 2002. Now, I remember going to that club meeting of Toastmasters Club of New Delhi, and I wondered then whether I would regret having ventured into Toastmasters, because I saw around me very adroit speakers. If you had been there with me that day, you would have seen everybody speaking very professionally. All the speakers were very well prepared, and I was wondering whether I'd be able to speak like them one day. And then it was time for table topics, quite like this, and I was invited to speak on table topics. And do you know what happened? I lost my voice. I couldn't utter a single word. My tongue was twisted into ropes. That's what happened to me. Can you imagine? And I thought that was going to be the worst day of my life. But yet, it turned out to be the happiest day of my life, because it just completely changed who I was and what I became. Indeed, never regret things that make you happy, because happiness is all that we are seeking in life. Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you so much, sir, for the beautiful expression of the topic. So who wants to come next? I will call only those persons whose video is on. So if your video is off and you are raising virtual hand, no chance. Toastmaster guest Simran, would you like to come next?
Yes.
Yes. So she said yes. So here is the topic. Toastmaster Simran, the problem is you think you have time. The problem is you think you have time. Toastmaster Simran, stage is all yours.
When I was growing up, I would rather sit and watch a series than go and play sports with my friends, especially in college. I just kept sitting in my hostel room waiting for life to happen. And I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen, and it didn't. And I kept wondering, why is my life so uneventful? And until one day, my friend pushed me to go through a college fest. And it was fun, it was okay, but it gave me this sort of experience. And then when I went back, I said, okay, yeah, maybe I should go out a little bit more. But I'm too lazy. And I'm getting by fine, so I don't really need to put in that much effort in life. I was going through college, through my work, pretty well with this lazy, getting things last minute attitude. And the one thing that changed my life, which made me realize that life is precious, is when I lost my school best friend to a brain hemorrhage. And that was when I realized that I wish I had done more things with her, instead of staying in my hostel room, instead of watching TV, instead of always sitting back and not really seizing the moment and spending more time with her. And that was when I realized that we think we have time until we don't. And I hope that we are able to take that experience and seize the moment, c'est la vie, and move forward, ensuring that we have the best life that we can live in the time that we have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Simran. And who wants to come next? I see four virtual hands. Pooja, Toastmaster Pooja Kotecha, guest Kanav, guest Ankita, and guest Shreya Gupta. So I will go with guest Kanav because he's raising his hand for since the beginning. So guest Kanav, are you ready? You can unmute yourself. And hope your video will remain on for the remaining meeting. So here comes your topic. Guest Kanav, having a soft heart in the cruel world is a courage, not weakness. Having a soft heart in the cruel world is courage, not weakness. Guest Kanav, stage is yours.
Having a soft heart in cruel world. It's a nice topic. I don't know.
You have time. Just keep on thinking. You please still have 1 minute to go. Be there on stage. Anything coming into your mind? You can say anything, any word from the topic you can pick. Because time is running. Yes, green card is here. So thank you so much, guest Kanav, for showing at least endeavoring to just participate. So who wants to come next? Guest Ankita, would you like to come next?
Sure.
Okay, so guest Ankita, here comes your topic. Guest Ankita, when the ego dies, the soul awakes. When the ego dies, the soul awakes. Guest Ankita.
It seems like you have touched a very weak chord of my heart because, like since few months, I have been reading this book that ego is my biggest enemy. And I have been learning with time that, ego can kill. And coming from a background, coming from a family where almost everybody is very strong-headed and egoist, I have been realizing that there is a bit of it in me as well, which at times really hampers my growth and my performance, both negatively and positively. It sometimes pushes me to perform better, but at the same time, it also sometimes pulls me back that I do not perform at all. And these are both virtues of ego. And just few days back, I had a very strong heated argument with one of my very close friends, and I developed a lot of feelings of hatred towards him. And I was wondering that this is not who I am. I am a person who can forgive easily, but I have been fighting with all these thoughts, and I realized that there is this ego that is also somewhere impacting me when I'm having these all negative thoughts. This ego that that person is wrong and I am right. Like I said, that truly ego is the biggest enemy. But once we are able to overcome our ego, really the soul awakens. And it's a constant process. It's not something that I can do today and I can be all great for the rest of my life, but it's in fact a process where we have to keep working so that the soul awakening keeps on happening, and we can recharge our emotions, and we can also keep feeling emotionally stable to actually keep aside the ego. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster and guest Ankita. And who wants to come next? This time for this role for the Toastmaster who is not playing any role. Any Toastmaster who is not playing any role can raise his hand. Yes, it's time to call, choose by my own. So Toastmaster Shivangi, would you like to come?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. So here comes topic for Toastmaster Shivangi, who was silent and thinking that he might not be picked up, but I have picked up. So Toastmaster Shivangi, You are the sky, everything else is just a weather. You are the sky, everything else is just a weather. Toastmaster Shivangi.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, for a great topic. You are the sky and everything else is just weather. The first thought that came to my mind is, well, who wants to be the weather? Have you seen the temperature in Delhi today? I mean, look at Toastmaster Joy and you will get a very good idea about the weather. Yes. Well, talking about the sky. Now, when I was participating in this table topics competition as part of Toastmasters, there was this topic, if not now, then when? And at that time, I was talking about everything that I was experiencing at the moment. For example, my temperature was rising, my heart was beating very fast, and I could not think what to add more. So I kept on repeating all those lines, and everybody else was taking it as if, oh wow, she's speaking so well. At that time, I felt like the sky, and everybody else was just like weather, taking what I'm speaking, just oh well, how good she speaks about it. Well, that is all I can think about. Hopefully, the 1 minute is over. So, thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much. So, timer, do we have time to take one more participant? Or
Yes, we can have one last.
Okay, one last. So, timer has indicated it's the last only. So, who wants to come next? I believe I should choose guess because Pooja has raised her hand, but she's already has some role. So, I would like to give role to someone who is not playing any role. Guess Avinash was raising hand in the beginning. So here the topic goes to guest Avinash. Guest Avinash, you can unmute yourself and ready?
Yes.
All set?
Yeah.
Okay. Feel relaxed. The topic is easy. So guest Avinash, two things define you. Your patience when you have nothing and your attitude when you have everything. Two things define you. Your patience when you have nothing and your attitude when you have everything. Guess Avinash, stage is all yours.
The lines which you have just said just defines my journey till now from the last 3 years. So I have been preparing for UPSC, Civil Services Examination. And from the last 3 years, I have given 2 mains. This year, the second mains. And until now, I have not tested the success. And due to that patience which is inside me, right now, I am willing to fight for the selection. And when a person gets selected, then at that time, the attitude of that person will define, will he be able to serve the community with full effort or not? As Vivekananda has also said, that service to Jiva is worship to Shiva. That means when you have everything, then the ethos of trusteeship guided by the ethos of Mahatma Gandhi, at that time, your attitude will define, will you be able to serve the community or not? Until then, you keep patience. For example, I would like to give the example of Mahatma Gandhi itself. Until when he came to India, he visited all over the country and tried to get know about how people are living and how they are fighting against the British. But when he realized the potential of the masses, then his attitude towards people changed. He raised them and they fought for the independence, and we are going to celebrate our 73rd Republic Day this year. On that note, I would like to conclude myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Avinash. It seems that you were thoroughly prepared. I already provided the topic. It seems you spoke very well. So it's time to take a poll for the best table topic speaker. Tech Master, can we have the polls now or we will take it later? Yes,
Yes, we have the polls are ready to go, and everyone is requested to take part
our
in
tech
this
master is
debate.
very sharp, so
Yes, very sharp. 20 seconds will be given to all of the Toastmasters as well as guests to vote for the best table topic speaker according to them and who spoke just perfect. Okay, great. We are on the 23. We are 29 participants. We are on 23 within just 8 seconds. Nice. 5 more seconds will be given to rest of the participants. So vote quickly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there you go. Over to you, table topics master. I've done with it.
thank you so much, tech master. So, friends, here my role ends, and it's time to call Toastmaster of the day on stage. Toastmaster of the day, stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, TM Ankit, for conducting this wonderful session. So moving on to our last but not the least segment, the evaluation segment, which will be conducted by our journal evaluator TM Zubair and his team. To introduce, TM Zubair is an economics student studying in DU. He has a sheer interest in sports and business. The freedom fighter he admires the most is Sir Bhagat Singh. The reason is his courage and bravery. He wasn't involved in pushing people into fancy movements, but led to battle Britishers in their face. With this, TM Zubair, the stage is yours.
Vande Mataram, Jai Hind, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I would like to share some of my picks from my school days. So, this was a skit we played on 26 January, and I was one of the soldiers that it is visible in the screen. Okay, I died in the last, but a duplicate uniform was enough to give me goosebumps on that day. What if I really wore that Indian army dress and went onto the border? We cannot fill their boots, but we can all do is improve ourselves. Fill in the boots of great speakers like DTM, Deepak sir, and Rashmi ma'am. So for doing so, uh, for becoming such great speaker, we all need our evaluation, and this is what this segment is for, to evaluate each and every aspect of the meeting. So first I would like to call upon our first speech evaluator, TM Akshat, to evaluate TM Sadaf. TM Akshat, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zubair. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Chair work. What an interesting title for a content rich speech. The title of the speech caught my attention right away. The speaker did a very thorough research on the topic, and the speech was jam packed with quality content. So kudos on that. Along with that, I thought the speech was very well structured. The speaker started with a quote, then she talked about then she talked a little bit about emotional suffering. Then very adroitly she shifted her attention to chair work, which is a talk therapy. And this was followed by how does chair work help people? Well, so very well done on that. Now coming up on the areas where I think the speaker can improve. I think the speaker can work on her tonal variety, which is a recommendation she received from her last speech as well. I thought throughout the speech the tone was more or less the same. For example, when the speaker ended with the quote, it could have been like this: the most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, who have known suffering, who have known struggle, and who have known losses, and have found their way out of the depths. This could have captured the audience's attention in a better way. Secondly, other recommendation which I have for the speaker is to slow down a bit. The speaker was rushing through the content, due to which some words were a little bit unclear. And lastly, I would suggest the speaker to include more dialogues and practice more before delivering her next speech. Overall, the speech was content rich, very well structured, and with the use of more tonal variety, I'm sure the speaker will do wonders in a future speeches. That is all from my side. Over to general evaluator.
What I like about TM Akshat report is that everything was with example. He included example in his each and every point, so it was more clear. And next thing that I like was the transition that he had, the transition to recommendation, how the speaker can improve. He didn't say that, okay, now my recommendation is this. Now, where can the evaluator improve? When you were reading out the purpose of the speech, you were not smiling or not excited to call the speaker on the stage. The smile is contagious. If you smile, then the speaker would feel more energetic while giving her speech. And second thing that I would like to have is to give a big hand of round of applause to you, because you came after a long time and you gave such a valuable evaluation. Thank you on that. Next evaluator is TM Navya, our icebreaker speech evaluator. Okay, lame jokes apart, I would like to call TM Navya on the stage to evaluate TM Abhishek.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zubair. So, first of all, I would like to give a big round of applause to TM Abhishek for delivering his first speech in the club, for actually muster upping the courage to come on the stage and delivering his first speech. So, kudos to that. Then I think the speech wasn't just an introduction to the speaker's life. It was actually a reminder for all of us to be motivated more and more in life. Uh, what I think is committing mistakes is a part of life, and but what is more important is to learn from those mistakes and move on in life. So that was in the speaker's speech. He gave various examples where he failed and he again mu- uh, took the courage to fight back. So that was nice. Now, on that note, I'd like to give the first commendation. So, while giving the speech, he started very confidently and he used his hand gestures properly. So, that was very nice. Then, the second commendation would be he gave required pauses in between. For example, when he had to ask questions from the audience, so he gave proper pauses so that the audience could reply. So that was really nice. Then one recommendation I would like to give is, though the speaker started with confidence and energy, but gradually while delivering the speech, uh, the confidence declined and the energy was also declined. So being more energetic would you know uh, he would be able to deliver the speech properly then. So another recommendation is the similar, like to be more energetic while giving the speech. Using proper voice modulations would be would make his speech better. And yes, and the third recommendation would be he was using notes, so we could actually see it that notes were used. So next time if the notes are not used, so that would also add to proper delivery of the speech. Then one last commendation would be that yes, he had proper eye contact with all the audience while delivering the speech. So that is also very nice because audience feel they are getting involved in the speech. So that's all from my side. Otherwise, the speech was really nice. It was I was happy that you deliver your first speech here at the club. So that's it.
Can we warm our freezed hands, because this was a debut role as a speech evaluator for TM Navya, and that's how TM Navya introduced TM Abhishek as a icebreaker. Icebreaker need to be motivated by us because he's very new to the club and he would feel hesitation while delivering. So good note on that. What I wanted is to keep the transition more smooth, like TM Akshat did. He did not say that now my recommendation is this, now my commendation is this. Please make it more smoother where the speaker can improve, and please uh, don't try to give more than two recommendation. If you go more than two, then the speaker will start feeling demotivated. Like all I did was uh, all I got was recommendation. So as a icebreaker also, you need to have more commendations so that he could be motivated. Okay. uh, all in all, that was a good structure of the speech, and you followed the CRC approach. Now I would like to call the next evaluator, TM Pooja, to evaluate TM Shanti.
Thank you, TM Zubair. Firstly, I would like to congratulate TM Shanti for completing level 1, project 3. It was a great speech. The way the speech was started was very engaging with a question, and throughout the speech, it was quite an engaging content. The speaker maintained the eye contact throughout the speech. It just felt like she was talking to us and not giving any prepared speech. So that was great. The speaker did a thorough research on the topic and backed it up with factual information, including Deepak Menon sir. I think all of us would agree that he's been putting in a lot of effort in mentoring and coaching us and being throughout with us. That was great. Also, the voice modulation was great. And I love the message that speaker shared with us, that once a Toastmaster, always a Toastmaster. And another great message was patience and passion can do wonders. I'm sure all of us can relate to it, and I am trying to follow that in my life personally. So it was very relatable, PM Shanti. Overall, a great speech. I quite enjoyed it. It just felt like you were talking to us. Body language was great. Hand gestures were there. The transition was very, very smooth. It didn't feel like there was a break or any disbalance. It was a great transition, great delivery, body language was great. Just one small area of improvement that I would suggest is probably you could have added a little more vocal variety in your speech. Otherwise, a great speech, and we quite enjoyed it. Thank you.
Again, her debut role from TM Pooja. Please put your hands together to cheer her up. CRC approach was followed. The structure was good. Each and every aspect of the speech was evaluated. I just thought that she was all into her speech, and no suggestion from my side. Even though you are a debut role player, I never felt that. Now I would like Tech Master to roll the polls. Until that, what I liked about each and every speaker are their speech titles. They really worked on their speech titles, and your speech title is the first thing that we all hear until you can vote for your best evaluator and listen to me side by side. So what I recommend to all of you to always play with your speech titles also. Be more creative with your speech titles, as all our speakers did. Until or unless you get a TMOD who mess with it, I won't speak the name, otherwise TM Joy will feel bad. Okay. All have voted. I am guessing that. Now I would like to call upon the Auxi role players. First is timer TM Shamkit.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So I'm back with my report. First of all, kudos to all the speakers for maintaining the time and not exceeding the time. So now for telling the time, I will be sharing my screen. So Toastmaster Sadaf took 5 minutes 37 seconds. Toastmaster Abhishek took 5 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Shanti took 6 minutes 20 seconds. Distinguished Toastmaster Deepak sir took 1 minute 43 seconds. Toastmaster Simran took 1 minute 42 seconds. Guest Kanaf took 1 minute 5 seconds. Guest Ankita took 1 minute 49 seconds. Toastmaster Shivangi took 1 minute 12 seconds. And guest Avinash took 1 minute 57 seconds. Now the speech evaluators, Toastmaster Navya took 3 minutes 1 second. Toastmaster Akshat took 1 minute 58 seconds. And Toastmaster Pooja took 1 minute 51 seconds. In the end, I will just say that I thought that speakers could have adjusted a time bit more. So that's all from my side. Back to general evaluator.
What I like today about the timer is he started with smile. We have seen that TM Samkit is not a big fan of expressions and smiles, but today he was bang on, and I liked that very much. What I liked about his starting, it felt like a speech. It has a proper introduction and a proper ending. What I like you to improve upon is don't tell that now I am the timer and I'm TM Samkit. The TMOD has given a full detail about you. Please don't say it again and again. Okay. All in all, your report was great. The great use of slides and the time cards were shown on time. Good job on that. Now I would like to call upon language evaluator TM Darshan. TM Darshan, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator, for calling me onto the stage. Word of the day, adroit. It was used 4 times in all the process of the meeting. I like that. Everyone was encouraged to use idioms, new words, and some of the phrases. Am I audible? I think my internet is a bit buffering.
No, you are audible.
Okay, great. There are some of the idioms, phrases, and new words that was also we heard in the meeting. The word that was used was ventured, and there was a phrase that was losers fail 10 times and they try and give the best in the 11th. Energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. Well, seize the moment. I like that. There was one Hindi phrase was used like by the joke master, dicky khol, dicky khol. He could have translated that into the English as open the boot. Well, that was it. But the main thing is that why do we want to use the new words? The vocabulary, it helps you to know about the world. It helps you to gain more knowledge, like in listening, in speaking, and in reading. It improves all areas of the communication. So I urge everyone to use the word of the day, that is adroit, in their daily lives also. Well, over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Happy to hear that less red marks are on our speeches. Now I would like to call our counter TM Rashmi. TM Rashmi, the stage is all yours.
Welcome back, dear Toastmasters, once again. What an immaculate meeting it was. I was on the toes all the time. I had to find out the speakers who were using ours, us. Congratulations to most of the speakers, because today, maximum speakers were less and flawless. Great job done. Please give them a big round of applause, whether it were the prepared speakers or the speakers in the table topic section, everywhere. I believe everybody had pulled up the socks and decided to be an adroit speaker. So great job done. Only few speakers were there who still used ours, ers, ums, or to a little extent, to minimal extent. And there were TM Navya, TM Pooja, TM Zubair, and I would like to add TM Darshan. He used only once or twice. He used only once or twice. That is a great improvement in his speech. Kudos to you, TM Darshan, especially. So great job done, all of you. Overall, this meeting was an flawless and flawless meeting. And I hope with such dedication and with such paid work already being done by all the speakers, next time we are not going to require the role of the person called our counter. And that would be a great achievement. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Now I would like to call upon parliamentarian TM Shashank. We are running bit slow, we are running bit short on time, so be precise.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Well, today's meet is the best example of technology can deceive us anytime. Hence, we need to be adroit with the technology, right? So there were few instances where participants of this meeting switched off their camera. I would encourage everyone to keep their videos on throughout the meeting next time onwards. Apart from this, overall, meeting was very professional and nature, and all the participants were disciplined. Over to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Okay, now I would like Tech Master, please roll the ballots for the best Auxi role player.
So the ballots are on the screen.
We still
now.
have the listener to go.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
The general evaluator is evaluated. Okay, now I would like to call upon TM Bhavanand as the listener on the stage.
Thank you. Let's check on listening capability. So please reply after raising your hand. So my first question is, T mode Asparshita told, when was last speech of Rabindranath Tagore? Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Okay, guest Ankita.
1941.
Yes, right, great. Okay. My second question, TM Sadaf told in her speech about 4 principles. What was third principle? Please raise your hand, then speak. Again, I repeat, TM Sadaf told in her speech about 4 principle. What was third principle? Please raise your hand. Yes, please. You can try.
Move from
Okay, I
internal
guess
to
it
external world.
was. Yes, who is?
To move from internal to external world.
Yes, it is right. Thank you. Now, next question. TM Abhishek told in his speech, he used to wake up at what time? TM Abhishek told in his speech, he used to wake up at what time? Okay.
Shashank is raising his hand.
TM Karanveer. TM Karanveer.
5:30 in the morning.
Yes, great. Yes. My fourth question, TM Santi told in her speech, first official meeting was done in which year? Yes, TM Deepak sir.
1905.
First official meeting
First
was on
official
20.
meeting.
First official meeting was on 22nd October 1924.
Yes, great, great. And my last question, in table topic segment, guest Simran told about which topic? TM Ankit is not allowed and guest Simran is also not allowed. Yes, Pooja. Yes, Pooja, please.
Sorry, I had raised my hand from before.
Yes, yes, please.
I'm not sure. Sorry.
We have Toastmaster Shanti raising her hand.
We also
Yes.
have guest Avinash.
TM Santi, please. TM
You think you
Santi.
have enough time.
Yes, great. Thank you to all of you for participating. Over to General Evaluator.
Okay, everyone was active, and even though they pulled you on the stage, now all of you, please vote your valuable vote on the polls. Tech Master, please roll the polls.
So please vote quickly, and we are sorry because of we are running very late, so we posted the polls earlier. So please vote now. Who was the best auxiliary role player according to you?
Make sure you don't leave Vedant on the diggy. Please
Yes.
vote for him too.
Come on, everyone. Where is the energy? Please vote, participate in this democratic process. Okay, 5 to 6 seconds more will be given to vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and closing the ballots now. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Okay, now it's time to evaluate auxiliary role players. First was the timer TM Samkit. TM Samkit had a very beautiful structure of his speech. What I wanted him to not to say, I am TM Samkit, now I will be the timer, because the TM audience has already given a full detail about you. Next was our language evaluator TM Darshan. That was a really good word. Where you can improve is the same as TM Samkit. I am TM Darshan. Please don't say it again and again. We have already listened from the TMOD that you are the language evaluator, and don't spell the word. You were spelling the word. What you can do is pronounce the word. We are not going to write it. We are going to speak it. So better to spell the word. Okay. Next is our counter TM Rashmi. She was less, but what I liked about her was her innovation, as the word Alice, and she is a great speaker. She had a great vocal variety, but what she did was she started with filler words by herself. And for such a great speaker, this thing should be included, this small aspect of her speech. All in all, she is a great speaker and her report was very beautiful. Next is parliamentarian TM Shashank, a debutant role player. Please have a huge round of applause, because I'm short on recommendations for him. He was such a flawless speaker, and I have to say that he's such a beautiful writer, because how he structured a parliamentarian speech into a beautiful speech, I love that. No recommendation, to be honest. Next, the listener TM Bhavanand. What I like about him is the time he has, the pauses he give into his speech, and he is the second TM Jaya or the first Bhavanand. You both can settle this, but I love the pauses you have in your speech. What I wanted you to speak more about the theme. You spoke less about the theme and more on your own journey. You were on your own journey. Next, the joke master TM Vedant. TM Vedant, I really felt that was a stand-up comedy. You really brought your personal story and we all had a huge laugh. What I wanted you is that you missed wishing the audience. You didn't say good evening to everyone. You said that thank you, Tiamat, and you went on with your story. What I liked about you is the inclusion of the Hindi words like diggy khol would never have connected with us in English, but the other words could have been converted to English. So use less of Hindi. You can use it somewhere when you have to show a eruption of emotions, but not everywhere. Okay. Next time you will surely improve. Next is table topic master TM Samkit or TM Ankit. I'm really upset with you, sir. I had a lot of recommendation for you today. So few of them are that you didn't ask them, those who were raising their head. You were pulling other people from the stage, but not those who really wanted to participate. Okay. So and next, when guest Kanav was not able to speak, you left him. You said that stay on the stage. What you could have done is start a conversation with him, uh, teach him how the things go and how he can build his speech. So what I want you for next time is to be give him more hints so he can go on with his speech. Okay. Now the TMOD. The theme was very beautiful. Next, tomorrow we have 26th January Republic Day. So it was very apt and we all are flooded with data. What I wanted you is to give ask for feedbacks. You didn't ask for feedback after each and every speech. And what I wanted you, sorry, you could have cut those intros. You put the intros as we have given you. So the role of the TMOD is also to shorten those introductions. Okay. So next time you can improve. President again flawless. For a few speeches was what I was missing in him was his smile. I love that smile, and today I saw that. I really enjoyed that smile. good story he had in his introduction, and he acknowledged every guest. Good work on that. Today he missed peace, the 30-second silence we have for speech. That is very important and one of the most beautiful part of our CDTM meeting. So I want to please keep on that. Sergeant at Arms TM Navya, I want all of you to please genuinely clap for her. She came few months back, and it is very hard for a newcomer to have such a level of confidence. She was improving, but she was not going at that level that we wanted. But today she hit that level, and I really enjoyed the creative intro she had and the improved energy she had. Good work done, and you shown that you are a leader. Okay, now on and on the meeting was apt. The meeting started on time, and today we are ending it on time. The concern we had from past few meetings. Now I would like to hand over the stage to TMOD Spashida. Thank you.
Thank you so much, TM Zubair. So before handing over the stage to our president, I would like to share how my Republic Day used to look like in my childhood. So it used to start with watching the Republic Day parade on the news channel, getting ready for the school, taking part in some dance competition, getting some chocolates to eat, and then coming back to the home. That's how my Republic Day used to end. So this was my Kinder Republic Day. I would be glad to know how you all celebrate your Republic Day. And for that, please raise your hands. Anyone who would like to share? Yes, please, TM Joy.
Yeah, I grew up in Delhi and I used to live um, on a street called Thompson Road. And interestingly, the Republic Day parade will roll past that towards the very end. And my fondest memory of Republic Day parades was to stand with a mass of people watching the armed forces parade by. We didn't get the salami that they give at Rajpath, but I used to love seeing the tanks and the missiles roll by. As a kid, that was a great joy for me to be able to see all of that so close and soak in the environment. Thank you.
Thank you
That
so
was
much, TM Joy, for sharing your experience. Yes, guest Ankita, you can continue.
Yes, so when I recall about my experience of celebrating Republic Day, I very dearly remember how there used to be a presentation or uh, those presentations by different states in a row, and I used to wait for my state to present something. I also used to compare how Punjab is performing or presenting their culture or whatever their achievements are in comparison to other states. And as I grew, started becoming part of other states because of my work, it takes me to a lot of places. I realized that I started I stopped looking at Punjab and I started looking at Chhattisgarh one point of time and Rajasthan later. But what I miss the most is that during my school days, at least used to get more sleep on the 26th of January, which I do not get when I am a professional and I really have to, go and participate in the official gathering on 26th January. Thanks.
Thank you so much, guest Ankita. TM Rashmi, you can go next.
Yes, TM Swarshita, my memories are quite similar to yours. As I also used to celebrate my Republic Day the way you used to, and even today, I celebrate the same way. The difference is that at that time I used to participate as a child, as a participant, and now I participate as a teacher. And look, even today, now also, I made it a point to dress up and having the spirit of that Republic Day, representing that spirit of Republic Day. So that is how we have been celebrating Republic Day. And one more thing, yes, tableaus and watching tableaus and Republic Day parade. I have never ever missed it till date. So that is how we have been celebrating the day, along with sweets and celebration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rashmi ma'am. Deepak Sai, you can go next.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. One of my fondest memories of the Republic Day is when I was in school. I was in class 11, and our school had been selected to participate in the Republic Day parade. And I was from a boys' school, St. Columbus, and we were a very boisterous crowd. And we were there on Rajpath. We were supposed to be participating in the rehearsals, and we would make so much noise. We would not be disciplined at all. And finally, we were kicked out of the rehearsal because they said, you guys can't be disciplined at all, and so we don't want you. But it was good fun while we were there.
Thank you so much, sir. Guest Avinash, you can continue.
My memories of Republic Day in my childhood, I vividly remember the old man who is right now. I don't call him an old man because he's a young man of 90 years. So what I saw in him is when he used to give a speech in my school, everybody from 5 year from the 5th class student to the 10th class student, everybody there is goosebumps for everyone. The speech he used to give, it inspired me till now, and that is why I want to serve my country. So what I want to say is ki every this republic, we all talked about our past experience, our childhood, but this republic, I want to say that everyone should look for his fundamental rights and fundamental duties and give priority to fundamental duties. Let's give our nation the service we want to do to her. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Guest Avinash. With this, I hand over the stage to our President, TM Karanvi. TM Karanvi, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Parshita, for crafting that theme very beautifully. Since tomorrow is Republic Day, first of all, I would like to wish all of you a very happy Republic Day. And we hope we grow as a country, we grow as a nation, and become more and more advanced in all different areas. We had a great time today learning new things, listening to various experiences of Republic Day. And my Republic Day, every time used to start by waking up early, 6 or 7 in the morning, and sitting in front of TV. That was the ritual all around village. We all used to gather around one TV and watch the Republic Day parade. So that's how it was. Taking it forward, now since we had polls for all the other role players, we will now have the polls for the best role player of the evening. We had 3 nominees: Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmasters Parshita; Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Ankit Sinha; and Journal Evaluator, Toastmaster Zubair Qureshi. Please vote for who you think was the best role player today. While the votes are being collected, I feel there are 3 more votes to go. I would request the people to vote quickly. Yes, we are almost done. Thank you so much for voting. Now, so while the votes are being collected, I would like to also announce the results of the polls which were conducted earlier. Who do you think was the best speaker of today's evening? Was it Toastmaster Shanti? Was it Toastmaster Sadaf? Or was it our icebreaker king, Toastmaster Abhishek Singh? You can unmute yourself, take a random guess. Or
Shanti. Shanti.
Shanti.
Well, all I can hear is Toastmaster Shanti, and indeed it was Toastmaster Shanti today. Congratulations, Toastmaster Shanti, the best speaker of CDTM's meeting number 447. Who do you think was the best table topic speaker today? Now, this one is going to be crispy because all our table topic speakers attempted it really well today. Would you like to take a guess on who was the best table topic speaker? We had
Deepak
Deepak.
sir.
We had
Yes,
DTM
ma'am.
Deepak Menon, guest Simran, guest Kanav, guest Ankita, Toastmaster Shivangi, and guest Avinash.
Guess Simran.
Deepak sir.
Deepak sir.
Well, it was very intense fight, and it was DTM Deepak Menon who won it. Right after distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon, guest Simran and guest Avinash were the winners. So there was a tie between guest Simran and Avinash after that. Who do you think was the best?
Incidentally, Karanveer, Simran is from my other home club.
Yes.
And I invited her here today. So I'm very proud of Simran.
Thank you, Simran, for joining us today.
And of course, competing against the great Deepak Menon is always a challenge, but well awarded to Deepak sir.
Great. Thank you so much. Who do you think was the best auxiliary role player of this evening? We had timer Toastmaster Sanket.
Parliamentarian, Shashank.
Rashmi ma'am.
Yeah, parliamentarian.
We have many varied responses here, but it was listener of the day, Toastmaster Bhavanand, who won the best auxiliary role player. Right after Toastmaster Bhavanand was Toastmaster Rashmi with one less vote, and congratulations Toastmaster Rashmi as well. Who do you think was the best evaluator of this evening?
Toastmaster Zubair.
Akshat.
So Zubair is the best. It will be in the role players, but for the evaluators, we had Akshat, Pooja, and Navya today.
Pooja.
Same Akshat.
Well, the guesses are right. It was Toastmaster Pooja indeed today. All the polls had some ties which were broken at the last moment. So in the best evaluator, the first runner-up was Toastmaster Akshat Goel with just one less vote. Congratulations, Toastmaster Akshat as well. Who do you think got the big hamper, the best role player of this evening?
Zubair.
Well, there are a good number of votes for Toastmasters Sparshita as well. Who do you think can be, was it Toastmaster Sparshita, Toastmaster Ankit Sinha, or Toastmaster Zubair?
Come on, I have get so much.
Come on, people.
Already I have so much. I'm people's champ now. I don't care about results.
Well, our people's champ is definitely the winner of this evening also. Best role player of this evening, Toastmaster Zubair Qureshi. And right after her with one less vote was Toastmasters Sparshita Verma as well. Thank you so much everyone for joining us. Also, one special acknowledgement I would like to take today is for Toastmaster Darshan. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Darshan, for being a very helpful tech master throughout past meetings. Tech master is one of those roles where you have to stay vigilant all the times, preparing with the polls, ensuring that if someone goes on mute or someone has to be spotlighted back and forth again and again. And he does it so smoothly. And I definitely thought he deserves the recognition here. Also tomorrow, since it's 26th of January, around 3 p.m. In the afternoon, the CDTMites are meeting for a book club meeting. We will be discussing a book called How to Lead by David. And for people who are interested in reading and want to start the habit of reading, or they're already reading, you're most welcome to join us. And we would love to have a great discussion with you. So it's time to wrap up the meeting, and I would like every one of us to turn on their cameras so that we can have a group picture. And after this, we will be moving all the guests to a breakout room for guest briefing. Yes, may I request everyone to, can someone please suggest a pose, please? A good one. We don't want the usual victory.
A salute would be good.
Yeah, a salute would be good. Yes. May I request everyone to please pose a salute, please. Thank you so much. I hope the picture clicks is the right one. Thank you so much. Well, it's time to officially end the meeting now. It was great meeting you all, and it always is a wonderful experience coming here back every Tuesday to have this productive time and meeting everyone. I hope to see you all again next Tuesday, same time, same place. Thank you so much. I hereby officially end the meeting. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, everyone, and
Good night,
happy
everyone.
day.
Thank you, Mr.
Good night.
President.
Good night,
Well done
everyone.
today.
Thank you.